This is Bliss Oasis. Change your thinking, change your life.
And my desire to write Bootstrap is based on something that perhaps in my lifetime I won't achieve it.
Yes.
I've always wanted to join the military. That was my greatest desire.
Okay. What had attracted you to the military?
The brotherhood and the sacrifice.
The what, sorry?
Sacrifice.
Sacrifice for your country.
For your country, I truly love my country by all standards. I love this country.
Okay, so okay, you had that desire to become a soldier, to be in the military.
Yes.
You never you never ended there. You became a lawyer. You became a lawyer, but before all that, how did you start writing? Welcome to Bliss Oasis Podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Ngogi. What is happening to the Kenyan literary scene? What are Kenyans reading, if they're actually reading? How come some of the best Kenyan novels have never been turned into movies? This is a question that I discussed with one of the recently published Kenyan author, Charles Muhita. Charles, who published his first book, Bootstrap, last year, is currently working on a sequel. He says that a lot of needs to be done to promote local fiction writing talent, and I quite agree with him. Welcome to the podcast, and if you have a comment, please put it below, and remember to hit the subscription button so that you don't miss future episodes. Meanwhile, here's a message from Bliss Oasis Africa. What you need to do to become a conscious creator. We've been told before that there are three categories of people. The first is that of those who make things happen, then those who watch things happen, and the third are those who have no idea of what is happening. Obviously, we would all like to belong to the first category, the movers and the shakers, those who make things happen. But in order for you to do this, you have to be a conscious creator. And you do this by setting intentions. Setting intentions is one of the processes that will help you become a masterful creator. Your mind, consciously or unconsciously, affects your surroundings and your experiences. Meditation improves emotions, tunes the brain to happiness, and heightens intuition. You can improve your health, enhance your performances, and affect your future by conscious intending and be in conscious control of your life. So how do you do this? You do this by each day, begin by setting positive intentions. Feel good and be filled with joy and appreciation. Choose thoughts and experiences that please you. Be a magnet for amazing prosperity, vibrant good health, and fulfilling relationship. Maintain a strong connection to source energy. Uplift others. Breathe in and draw in continuous stream of well-being. And now, the interview with Charles. Welcome. Welcome again to Bliss Oasis Africa. And for the second time again, we are lucky to have one of our local authors, Charles Muhita. And some of you might remember him because when we were doing audio podcasts, we had invited him because he had just published his book, which he's going to tell us more about today. And without much ado, I'm welcoming Charles. Karibu sana Charles to Bliss Oasis Africa.
Thank you.
Yeah, you are one of our regular visitors, and we like you.
Thank you. I'm very appreciative.
Yeah, karibu sana.
I'm the lucky one. You invited me here the last time. You invited me again.
Yeah, in fact,
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, in fact, for those who don't know, you are the first guest for Bliss Artists Africa when we started inviting guests. Before that, we were not. Yeah, and you are the first one. So thank you and welcome again.
Thank you, sir. That's quite humbling. Thank you.
So how have you been since we last had the interview? And for our listeners, they may not know you. So I think the best thing is to introduce yourself properly to them, yes, and also remind the other who you are and where you came from. Maybe for about 5 minutes. Yes.
Oh, all right. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Charles Muhita Kinini, and I'm the author of a local thriller action-based novel. It's called Bootstrap. It has been.
You have a copy there? I have a copy. Yeah, you can show it to us. Bootstrap, yes. I have a copy of it.
Yeah, Bootstrap.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, it has. It's been 7 months since it was published. And I'm really appreciative of everyone who has supported me by getting a copy. I'm also appreciative of your forum for giving me an opportunity the first time to be interviewed. I really appreciate that, and I wish your channel all the best.
Yeah, welcome. So briefly, okay, go on.
Yes. So I reside within Ruiru sub-county, and that's where I practice law. That's my source of income. Before coming to Ruiru, I was born and raised in Western Kenya. That is where actually I have always known as home. I just came to the central part of the country after post-election of 2007, when my family was greatly affected in the skirmishes.
Yes.
But all in all, God has been gracious. I can't complain. His grace has taken me far and beyond my imagination.
Okay.
So I give him credit for that.
Yeah.
And my desire to write Bootstrap is based on something that perhaps in my lifetime I won't achieve it. Yes. I've always wanted to join the military. That was my greatest desire.
Okay. What had attracted you to the military?
The brotherhood and the sacrifice.
The what, sorry?
Sacrifice.
Sacrifice for your country.
For your country, I truly love my country by all standards. I love this country.
Okay, so okay, you had that desire to become a soldier, to be in the military.
Yes.
You never ended there. You became a lawyer. You became a lawyer, but before all that, how did you start writing?
All right, so when I was in high school, I really liked compositions. I know it is something not very crucial in the academic system. Yes. I think people are expecting me to say I like physics, but I also like composition.
All right.
Because it is a way of giving life to a creation. You creatively come up with something, write it down for another audience.
Yes.
And it's more or less similar to what the creator has done. See, the creator is a creative being.
Yes.
The creator of heaven and earth.
Yes.
He created something imaginatively.
Yeah, he's creative. He's an infinite creator.
Creator, yeah. So I think I'm also moved by his creativity, and I just wished to replicate it.
Yeah.
And so when I was in high school, I really liked reading. There was a guy who used to write stories on the Sunday newspaper, Wahome Mutai.
Whispers.
Yeah, Whispers. I really liked that guy. It was amazing.
So
I remember,
I remember you used to wait for the whole week to get a glimpse of the and then you throw away the rest of the pages and just keep Whispers.
Exactly. Yeah. Whispers was that was exactly what I was waiting for at the end of the week. That guy was truly creative.
He was gifted.
He was gifted and And he actually told me you knew him.
Yes, we worked with him at the Nation newspapers.
Yes.
In fact, many people don't know this, but I was with him when Whispers, the character, was being created.
Okay.
Yeah, we discussed with him, and he went ahead and had a runaway success.
That's good. I think most of us really give credit to you, because even when I came up with my idea before publishing, I also approached you.
Oh yeah, you did. I think somebody has sent you to me. But anyway, thank you very much. So today we are talking about, tell us a bit about Bootstrap. Just for those who have not read the book, and the others who may want to know about it.
All right. So Bootstrap is my debut book. And God willing, it will be the first of a 3-part sequel. So Bootstrap itself is about the threat that East Africa faces at the water body surrounding East Africa, where the terrorists usually operate from. So the book, I don't want to give a lot of spoilers, but the book is about
terrorism.
It's about terrorism.
Yeah.
But this time around, the person perpetrating the terror is quite an intelligent person who has an evil vision, and he bears hatred against Kenya. So he finds a way to create a virus to attack Kenya with. And so Kenya dispatches one of its special forces units to counter that. So Bootstrap will cover that storyline, the personalities of the people within the special forces unit, the personality of the kingpin, not the kingpin, the evil terrorist, how he thinks, how he operates. And currently, because Bootstrap was published 7 months ago, I am working on the sequel now.
Yeah.
It shall be called Sandy, which will pick up the story from where Bootstrap lives, because Bootstrap does not end.
Okay.
So Sandy will be more centralized in Kenya, unlike Bootstrap, which cuts across East Africa. There are scenes in Ethiopia, there are scenes in Somalia, there are scenes in South Sudan, there are scenes in Uganda, there's a scene in Kenya. But Sandeep will settle squarely on the Kenyan territory.
Okay. Yeah, let me ask you. You're talking about various scenes in East Africa, like Tanzania, Uganda, Sudan.
Yes.
Have you ever been those places,
Yes.
or is it just in your imagination?
In my imagination, I think that's one of the advantages of being a writer.
A fiction writer.
Yes, you create your own.
Yes. And I'm sure you had to look at the Google map quite a lot. You have to look at when you are researching, you have to look at the Google map. You have to look at pictures so that you can add it to your imagination.
As a matter of fact, I had what is it called? A mind map. I don't know. You know that thing placed on the wall, and it has these lines connecting to another line to another line. I had that, by the way, in my house. I had to research how Somalia looks like, the terrain, the latitude.
Yes.
I need to know how the Al-Shabaab funds itself. I needed to know what an AK-47 is, how an AK-47 fires a bullet, how fast is that bullet. What form of sniping weapons a sniper uses. I had to Google the motorcade of the president, fictionally, compared to other jurisdictions, the Americans, how they cover their president. So I had to read about the constitution, because the book also touches on the new constitution. Yes.
I remember your first, Bootstrap, because I went through the manuscript. I remember the meetings at State House, the meeting at Harambe House, and
Yes.
so on. And it was quite vivid. It looked like you had been in those meetings.
Again, the advantage of being a fictional writer.
Sure. And
Yes,
how long did it take you to do Bootstrap once you started writing the first word up to the
yes.
end?
The first time Bootstrap, the first 3-4 paragraphs of that book were written in the year 2015.
2015. The first 3
2015,
paras.
the first 3 paragraphs. I remember clearly I was about to finish doing my bar exams.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I couldn't sleep that night. So I was just staring at my laptop. And I keyed in a few things. I said, okay. This is surprising. My mind has given me this start. Let me proceed with it.
Now let me ask you.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you. When you did when you sat down and you did the first 3 paragraphs.
Yes.
Before you did those paragraphs, did you have an idea?
Yes.
Did you have an idea of the story, or was it at random? You started typing and the idea came.
At that point, when I wrote those 3 paragraphs, I didn't know where the story was going. When I wrote the first 3 paragraphs, is when now I developed flesh on that skeleton.
The story started developing.
Perhaps I should read you the first 3 paragraphs.
Yeah. And you never change them. They still remain the same.
They still remain the same.
Okay, right. Let's hear it.
So, chapter 1, the year is 2010. There was a cool breeze blowing into the back seat of the dusty Greenland Rover. Deng sat quietly next to the Selvi post governor of the state. That's the first paragraph. The second paragraph, he stole a glimpse at the old bureaucrat, dark-skinned like oil itself, probably in his late 70s. He didn't know for sure. He didn't know his age either. And that was perfectly normal here. That's the second paragraph. Third paragraph, after birth, nothing else mattered. Nothing else other than having the ability to handle an AK-47 at least.
Wow.
Those are,
Wow. How did you get this idea? I mean, what was in your mind when you because this is a scene for those who may not be aware of about the book, but this is a scene of a rebel.
Yes.
These are rebels on top of a Land Rover.
Yes.
And I think here you are describing the thoughts of the 17-year-old or so recruit.
Yes.
And then maybe the boss. And then they are going for and then they are going for some mission. But how did it occur? How did it come to you? You must have thought about it before.
I think everything good in my life, credit has to be given to God. So there's no other way to explain it. It's just by His grace that I got the idea.
And it's from there that the skeleton started getting the meat.
Exactly.
So you say it was 2010. Was it?
It starts in 2010.
No, yeah, that's when you wrote the 3 paragraphs.
No, 2015.
2015. So when did you complete the?
But the book.
Yeah.
I completed the book in 5 years later. 2020. But the book Bootstrap is based in the year 2010.
2010. Yeah. Okay. Now. Yeah. The main character, the main terrorist is a Kenyan.
He's a Kenyan guy who is
tired.
Fed up. Who I won't give a lot of spoilers, but went through a negative ordeal, and he feels that the country let him down, despite him being a law-abiding citizen.
And these ideas came much later, obviously.
Yes.
After doing the 3 paras.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Exactly.
That's great. That's great because that's one way of writing a novel. Many people wonder, how do I start? Sometimes Just start with an abstract idea, then the rest will follow. Another way is to sit down and try to plan everything, which is possible. But you should know somewhere along the line, few things will change.
Exactly. I think the brain is a very, it's like it's a living thing. You have to give it something for it to give you something back.
You are creating, and once you start, you have created that creature, and it must grow.
Yes.
If you had done those 3 paragraphs and left it like that, that would be stillbirth.
Yeah.
It will be stillbirth. Now tell me, these 5 years.
Yes.
Of course, when you did the first paragraph in 2015, you did not write. You did not write like every day for 5 years. There must have been some time when you are really focused, and there must be some time when you are not even touching.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Okay, so what I was asking, in those 5 years, it's not like you are writing every day. There were times when you didn't feel like writing, and there were times when you are really charged and you just wanted to go.
Exactly. I think when I think you have to understand that you have to give your imagination time to create. You cannot constantly create everything at a go. So even now, I usually walk around with a notebook for the second book, because sometimes you might hear music that ignites something in your creativity. And you have to write within the few minutes that music is playing.
It's true.
Because it has triggered your creativity.
It's true. It's true.
And sometimes you might have the whole day to write, but nothing comes up because you are not in the creative zone yet.
That's what we call when you hit the writer's block.
Yeah. When you hit the writer's block, nothing is coming up for you to write.
Yeah. And when you realize you have a writer's block, you should not give up. That's when you should realize you are a writer, and that's why you're having a block. So just
I agree.
Take time off, do something else, ideas will start flowing.
Exactly, take time.
So you are still working, you have already started working on the sand deep?
Yes, I have. Although the idea has not yet manifested in full, what I can tell you now, and which I don't think will spoil anything in the book, because even myself, I don't know where the book is going.
Yes, maybe we'll give you ideas.
Yeah, I welcome them.
Yes,
I welcome them.
Yeah.
Sandeep will involve rescuing one of the special forces guys who was left behind in Somalia in
Bootstrap, yeah. Okay.
And the book will involve, I am torn between having a wrecker sport guy in it, or a professional safari rallies driver. This is the best profile for the character. Wrecker sport guy or a professional rally driver. Why I'm torn between these two professions is because a new character must have knowledge on mechanics.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. You will get eventually ideas will crop in. You'll start getting ideas, and one way or the other you'll cover it. So, so when do you think we should be looking out for the book?
Hopefully, by February.
Another year from now.
Yeah. I want to try and shorten the 5 years to 1.
which is very possible, because I've written a novel in a month.
I've seen your work.
Yes. And again, it really depends on your dedication. And again, if you won't get a lot of the blocks, as they say. But if you like have an hour every day,
Yes.
an hour, you dedicate an hour every day, and of course you
Yes.
plan your work, you can
Yes.
do in a month or two.
I think that's great advice, and I will really consider that.
Yes. So
Thank you for that.
we were discussing some time ago with you and a few friends
Yes.
about publishing, the problem with publishing or getting a publisher. In fact, it took you a long time before you got a publisher for Bootstrap.
Yes.
And the idea is many writers currently, particularly fiction writers, many of them are
Yes.
thinking of going self-publishing rather than traditional publishing.
Yes.
What's your take on that?
Yeah. Yeah. It is a stormy. It's a stormy sea finding a publisher.
Mm.
It is not something easy, and I know some guys out there are writers. They want to write.
Yes.
I think you need to understand it is not going to be easy finding a publisher.
Yes, it's usually not
It has to take a lot of you have to take a lot of time to research.
Yeah.
You have to ensure that your personalities and your creativity and the publisher understanding your creativity are all aligned.
Yes.
Because from the experience I've had with Bootstrap, is that the publisher should understand you as a writer. If the two of you are not understanding each other and the idea, it won't work very well.
Okay.
And I think that is why it's difficult to find. You can find a publisher, but it's not easy to find a good publisher. And another thing, there's something I've realized by there recently, and
Yes.
I don't mean this to undermine anyone or anything. I've seen that most of the better placed writers in Kenya have published outside our jurisdiction.
Outside the country.
Outside the country, they have publishers outside Kenya who publish their books, edit their books. Then now they bring the book to the market. And I've seen that perhaps there's something that as a country we need to improve on in the area of publishing to ensure that if a book is published in Kenya, it can compete quite well with a book published in South Africa or Nigeria or something like that. Yes. Yeah.
I think also when you take your books outside, when you take your manuscript outside to be published, you also, as an author, you should also be able to know your audience.
Agreed.
The audience and what kind of stuff they want to read, because publishers outside the country may not know what's good for the local market.
Indeed.
Yes.
That's quite true. Yeah.
But the problem we have with the local publishers who may know the local tastes, they're not taking manuscript, they're not taking fiction, novel, manuscript. Very few of them are doing that because, one, you need to be known. Secondly, they're focusing on school books and curriculum. So the rest of you guys have to wait. particularly when you are a new entrant in the market.
Yeah, I think I would not even say it any better than him.
Yes.
That is something, unfortunately, in our jurisdiction.
Yes.
You need to have a background of a celebrity of some sort before someone takes up the time to read your book. Which will overshadow a lot of creativity in the country.
Yes.
Because we need to encourage fresh writers coming up.
Yeah, we do.
Unknown people to be known, to create room for them.
Yeah, it's true.
I totally agree with that. We need to have a platform where the story is what speaks for you, not your background.
Yeah, so many writers recently are forced to do what we call self-publishing.
Yes.
And I think that's the area you want to go in, because you have been having you are lucky the first time when you had
This you had to see, I think, up to 17 publishers before one of
Yeah,
them,
yeah. I went.
before the one of them accepted. But now you want to go solo.
In- Indeed, I think the problem with when I started was it's not even that the publishers were rejecting the story.
Yes.
It's that specialization of the publishers didn't allow my book to proceed. Because sometimes I would approach a publisher and they say, no, we only deal with school storybooks.
Yes.
We only deal with study books. You go to another one, he says, no, I only deal with issues concerning tourism, for instance, magazines concerning tourism. Oh, so there is that limitation on the creativity space when it comes to publishing.
It's true.
And so from the experience I've had, I feel that if in the future I can find someone whom we can understand each other and we move forward, well and good. That is good. If I can get assistance, that would be marvelous. But one thing I've come to learn is that sometimes no one is coming to help you. You have to steer your own boat. You have to row yourself.
Whoever wants to help you wants something in return.
Yes.
It's not charity work.
No,
and
it's
then,
not.
And then the other challenge is that when you publish, when you do self-publishing, you have to be good in marketing also.
Yes.
And we are not good marketers. Writers are rarely good marketers. Because we just want to write and give the stuff to be sold. You have to be good marketer. You have to get your own editor. You have to get a designer for your book and then distribute it. And it's quite a challenge, but some people are already doing that anyway.
Yeah, I think most people choose to do so because in our country, there is no legal framework to protect proceeds from an intellectual property. So if you write a book, there's no mechanism for you to trace how much profit that book is generating.
Yeah.
There's no technology. I think the problem is there's a gap on technology. If there can be a technology to keep track of how your book is doing in the, for instance, when you see movies, when you Google a movie, they can tell you how much the movie generated in Asia, in Europe, in the US, when the movie was released in theaters in Japan, in China. And I'm sure the producers can follow up on the profits, the expense, and all this. But our system, there's no technological framework to help a writer pursue those things. So you expose yourself at some point.
Too bad. And I think maybe it's high time writers of Kenya wakuja na an organization, maybe something like Writers Unite. And then we can we can look at those areas you are mentioning and see how we can help ourselves, because apparently the waandishi wenyewe watajisaidia.
I agree.
Yeah, you mentioned movies. You just mentioned movies a few seconds ago. And some of these writers' work, some of the work we've done, like for example, Bootstrap and others, and even works by many other writers can be turned ever rich in action and stories, and they can actually turn into movies. That is not happening. Tell me, I mean, any comment on that, or any idea, or you have some thought about it?
Yes. I think I have an opinion on that issue. And my opinion is that if you compare our film industry to the European or the American or the Asian, you find that most blockbusters, that's what they call them, blockbusters. Yeah. You find something like the Game of Thrones that ended last year, I think. Last season came out last year but one. It was a novel.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was turned into a massive blockbuster. There is the Born Identity, Born Supremacy, Born Legacy, one of my favorite trilogy of novels, an amazing CIA action-packed novel that was turned into also one of the biggest movies around.
Yeah.
You find something like Sherlock Holmes, both the movies and the series,
These are
they all
stories
came from storybooks,
of very long time ago, like Sherlock Holmes.
Long time ago.
Sherlock Holmes,
Yeah,
I was introduced to Sherlock Holmes by my father, so that must be a very old story.
Yeah.
But it's being turned into a movie.
Yes, and it's relevant even now.
Yeah, quite relevant. Yes.
Yeah, I think, in my opinion, I would say 6 out of 10 movies. Some perhaps there's a form of a written start of it. Even what is coming out today, one of the biggest movie coming out today, Zack Snyder's Justice League. It came from a comic book written by a United States soldier a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I think
yeah, which means by now we should have stories. We should have movies on Weep Not Child. Weep Not Child, A Grain of Wheat, Charles Mangwa's stories.
Exactly.
And many others. Yes. So what do you think would be a way forward? I mean, why is this not happening?
I think there's no way you can have, in my opinion, there's no way you can have a lucrative filming industry if you don't have a foundation of good writers.
Yes.
The film industry should start investing in good writers. Then that will translate into good scripts. And then now the acting, the motion pictures will now be the roof of the foundation. Yes. So without good writers, we can't have good, fascinating, intriguing, engaging scripts. We can't.
But do we have a film industry in Kenya? A local film industry?
I saw yesterday when I was in Nairobi, I saw an advertisement of a local produced, I think it's a movie or a series, it's called Crime and Justice.
Yes.
Which has good actors, and I thought that is a very great step ahead. So the filming industry, it is there. But in my opinion, I feel the table is too small for all of us.
Oh, I see. Okay.
If that table was big enough to invite someone who is unknown somewhere in Mombasa, who is very good in writing a script, perhaps that guy can build us a very good series, which can take us for 6 months in the television. Another writer is taken up, writes another series. Series coming out. Yeah, I think we need that. We need an annual meeting or an annual something, a luncheon, where the film industry can look at what is in the market to be turned into a movie. Who can come up with a good idea on a script other than those already sitting on the table.
Okay. And countries like Nigeria, although Nigeria, of course, has always been far ahead of many countries, even in population.
Yes.
Because there must be hundreds. There must be hundreds of. It's like hundreds of millions. I don't know. Yes. But they're very successful in their film industry. We really enjoy we enjoy their Niger stories. And what did they do right? Or they're just ahead because
I think, in my opinion, I would say Nigeria, South Africa, they have something we lack. Variety. Because even when you look at our local produced movies, I'm saying this respectfully,
Yeah.
you find that the same guys in one movie produced in January, perhaps are the same guys who will be in the next movie in December. Perhaps the same producer, the same actors, the same director, the same stuntman.
Yes.
So if we can have variety, I think we can involve, we can compete with Nigeria, because Nigeria, you find they have action movies. They have movies touching on religion, romance. So it's
Witchcraft.
variety, that witchcraft. and witchcraft, by the way, sir, witchcraft
is big
is
business.
exactly what is, it is what is in The Hobbit.
Oh yes. Yes.
Yeah, we are just calling it something else. They are calling it sorcery or something like that. But,
yes.
But there's some black magic. And they tell their stories in a more intriguing way. Yes.
Okay. So you think whose fault is it? Is it the government? Is it the industry? Is it the writers who are just confused or they don't know which direction to take?
Yes.
Or what's the problem really of the challenge?
I think I would say it's our culture, which cuts across all sectors: private, public, entrepreneurs, the government. Our culture is that we appreciate what comes out more. If I tell you I have wine from France and I have bought this wine from a guy planting some things in Nyeri, I'll tell you, let's drink the France thing.
Okay.
So I think our culture is that we are yet to really appreciate. If I were asked, if this coat was had a Kenyan brand on it, I think I would feel very good, because it would have been something locally produced, or have a great watch locally produced somewhere in Nairobi by this local creative guy making customized watches. I think we are heading there.
I think so. I think, yeah, we are gradually, because, and I think it's because the TV has made some of these movies or series very successful, because everybody has access to them. For example, like Maria. Maria is a local movie, very successful, but then it's because of the publicity and people, accessibility. People can see it. But there may be very many good movies out there, or potential good movies that they will never see the eye of the public, because one, they don't have access to publicity. Or somebody who can turn their story into a movie, for example.
Yes. I think I don't know whether I will be right to say this. You find a good movie like Maria, the series, is very successful because it is riding on a wave that is not really ours, because it airs on a platform that comes from South Africa, I think. Yes, so at least when you have an idea that rides away from outside our borders, you're bound to succeed.
Are you talking about the storyline, or what are you talking about?
No, I mean the platform, because we have local channels.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Because you might find that you have to pay to watch Maria because we are using GoTV.
Oh, but I'm talking about Maria that comes to Citizen. Is it the same thing you're talking about?
Yes. No, I mean, I'm giving that example. Yes, you have something like Maria, yes. But when you want to make it better, most of these movies, you take it outside first.
Oh, so people
then
can
it
pay
comes
for
back
it.
in, yes.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Okay. Anyhow, I think there's still hope, because more and more writers are coming. Schools, publicity, what do you call them? Colleges that do filming are coming. And I think the more producer we get, they'll start scrambling for writers and scripts. And writers should have an opportunity then to produce, to have their work produced.
I agree.
Yeah, it's true.
Yes.
So, did you talk about trilogy in your manuscript, in your bootstrap? Are they going to be three
Yes,
of them?
yes. Yeah, there will be 3 of them.
Mm.
Bootstrap, Sand Deep, and the last one, the working title for now is Legends, but I'm not yet convinced with it. It might change.
It will come. It will come as we
But
go
now
along.
it will involve, yeah, it will involve the teaming up of the characters in Bootstrap and the characters in Sunday for the final installment.
Okay. And you hope
Yes.
one day they'll be in movies. We watch them on movies.
I would love it. I would love it.
That's great. So I don't know whether you have a final word for writers, new writers out there, and viewers out there who may want to maybe know more about your books
Yes.
or where to get
Now,
them.
I think indeed.
Yeah.
So for the writers out there, I would say that we need more creativity. Bootstrap is not enough on its own. We need other people to write other books so that we can challenge each other, so that we can raise the bar on writing, so that our products can have more value when we produce them. Yes. So we need variety in the writing field.
Okay.
I wrote about action. We need a writer who can write on romance, on a detective
crime.
Yeah, all that variety is needed, and I would encourage anyone writing to continue.
Yeah, and we can never lack ideas, because like now, since last year, we have this COVID thing. You can write a whole novel about COVID and about how it has affected people's lives.
Indeed.
Maybe the starting point is, one can say, it's when the president of this country died when I realized COVID was real.
Yeah. And then you proceed with it. Yeah, fictionally speaking. Yeah.
Then you proceed with it. So, do you think, maybe final question, because you already given your message, but I just want you to comment about readership. Do you have enough Kenyans who read fiction?
I remember one time I was told that someone told me this: you can't have writers if you don't have readers. You have to have readers, and the reading culture cultivates the writing culture. So I remember when I was trying to publish my book, that is something that I got told, and I don't take it as negative advice or negative criticism. The people who said what they told me have a point, that even if produce a 5-star book, not so many people will read it in Kenya, because the reading culture is quite low.
It's quite low.
But I'm optimistic. If we give the Kenyan market something intriguing, something fresh, something new, most people might end up changing their perspective and start reading this book.
Yeah, but I also have hope, because when you walk, and I've been saying this quite often, when you walk the streets of Nairobi, you look on the pavement, you'll see a lot of books lying there. Textbooks, novels, but most of those novels are from abroad. Is it because those vendors out there don't know we have local books which they can also display, or is it the local reader who does not ask for local authors?
Wow, that's a very good question.
maybe this because the only few local books you find there, or fiction books that you find in the pavement, are set books. They're usually set books.
You're very right. It's difficult to find a thriller.
Yeah, we rarely have other novels in the streets, unless they are by this guy called, is it Grimshaw or who? Foreign writers.
Bishop. Yeah. The legal writer. Well, that guy is amazing.
Yeah.
The guy writes, I don't know how many novels in a year.
Dean Koontz for horrors.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe that's one thing we need to also find out how come, because I'm sure.
Yes.
Andrea.
And that's why I truly appreciate you, because there's no publicity.
There isn't.
I'm sure, yes, because I'm sure if at the end of this interview you release this video, someone new will know that this book is out here.
Exists.
Yeah, it exists. There isn't a lot of publicity on local writers.
It is publicity.
And we hope that changes.
Yes, and I have an idea which I can share with you later on, how Writers Unite can come together and do something about that.
Yes. We can, because you have walked this path already.
Yeah,
we can support you. You can be our leader.
I'll share that idea with you and others later.
And actually, you have made a lot of sacrifices. I know most people don't know this, but in the background, you have made a lot of attempts to bring us together. I've come up to know a lot of creative people through your podcast on Bliss Oasis, because you're trying to create that publicity for a lot of young writers, not just young, of all ages in your podcast. Yes.
It's true, because if you want to do something, you have to do it yourself. Otherwise, sometimes nobody will do it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so thank you very much. Unless there's another final word.
I will just inform guys that you can order a copy of the book
Bootstrap.
You can go to my Instagram page. My Instagram page is Charles Muhita Bootstrap. So when you go to that Instagram page, you can just request me for a copy, and I will make sure that a copy gets to you.
Yeah.
Recently, I've also opened they call it a shop on Google. Google allows you to market your product for free online. So if you go to Google and type Bootstrap Charles Muhita, it will give you a link which you can. Those who have read the book can review the book, and I'm grateful for those who have already reviewed the book. I've received very positive reviews. I'm grateful for that. And those who want to order, that Google link will guide you to me directly with my position in Rio, if you are within. If you're not, just call me through the number on that link, or through Instagram, and I will ensure a copy gets to you.
Yeah, and we are going to put all those links below this video, so that anybody interested will get will get to you or order the books. So thank you very much, Charles. And I know we are soon meeting again. Pale tunakutanaga.
Yes.
So that we can do other things that will uplift Kenyan writing and writers. So thank you very much, and thank you for coming to Bliss Oasis. See you soon. God bless.
Thank you, sir. Karibu, all the best.
Okay, asante sana.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us until the end. Bliss Oasis Africa offers the following services: counseling and life coaching, mentorship in creative writing, publishing and consultancy, website development and digital marketing. Please visit us at our website www.blissoasis.co.ke for more information. You can also call or send us a WhatsApp message on 0722 563 544. Thank you.